If your dreams do not scare you, they are not big enough. By Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. The size of your dreams must always exceed your current capacity to achieve them. If your dreams do not scare you, they are not big enough. If your dreams do not scare you, they are not big enough. By Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. The size of your dreams must always exceed your current capacity to achieve them. If your dreams do not scare you, they are not big enough.
Hello guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. My name is Blunder. If it's your first time here, please make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you will not miss a new video. Please like the video so that it can be suggested to people who are searching for similar content. Please comment and please share this video. If you have already subscribed, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for growing our family. So guys, as you know that when I started this YouTube channel, I said that I want to create a platform where we are going to share our own experiences as entrepreneurs and also share some of the lessons that we have learned in our different entrepreneurship journeys. So today I want to share one of the biggest blunder I've made in my entrepreneurship journey. That was me traveling from South Africa to Botswana, from Botswana to Zimbabwe, from Zimbabwe to Namibia, as well as Zambia in a period of 6 days. So that was basically traveling across 5 countries in 6 days. You know, I don't want to lie, I enjoyed, I had fun. The pictures I took, the memories I made, the interesting people that I met, it was a great experience, you know, and it was a amazing experience for me because it was my first time having to get outside of the country. It was my first time me going to use my passport, you know, and the experience was just amazing. But when I was back in South Africa, I realized that me traveling was actually one of the biggest mistakes I've ever made in my entrepreneurship journey, because when I was now back in the country, I realized that the business was basically falling apart, you know. So I'm first going to tell you how the idea of traveling came about, you know. So I'm a person who likes traveling. I like going to places. I like to explore, you know, even though sometimes I'm unable to do that because of finances. You know, money, it comes and goes, you know. So it's like that. I've always been someone who's interested in traveling because even in high school I did tourism where we were learning about these places. And I told myself that time that one day I'm going to go to these wonders of the world. I'm going to travel all over the world, you know, and I still want to do that. You know, I'm actually inspired by Nabongo, who traveled the whole world and actually went to every country in the world. I wish Nami I can travel and actually went to each and every country in the world, all the 195 countries in the world. I want to do that. So the idea of traveling, it like dates back, like since I was at high school. I was doing tourism. I've always liked the idea of traveling, you know. So in 2019 I just completed my degree. So I thought of something that I can do. I thought I want to actually travel, even if it's locally. But then I saw this tour on Instagram. It was advertised there, and then I was like, I'm going to do this. And then the tour was like, we're traveling across 5 countries in 6 days. And I was like, I'm going to do this. I don't care how much it's going to cost. I'm going to do it. And I'm happy at the time that I had already started my business and it was doing very well, that it even afforded me the opportunity to travel across 5 countries in 6 days. So when I saw the tour, I communicated with the guys, the Thrifty Road Trips. I told them that I'm interested here. how am I going to pay, and then we discussed everything. And at the same time, I was scared that I'm going to be alone here. You know, I'm going to be traveling with a group of other people that I don't know. So I went around asking for my friends. I'm like, friends, I saw this tour. What do you think? Can we go? I was even approaching individuals. I'm like, can we please go? If I see maybe you can be interested in the tour, I would literally inbox you or send you a text on WhatsApp and say, what do you think about this tour? Don't you want to go? And then, you know, people, they won't be interested, you know, even though it was like it was not a short notice thing. You know, there was enough time for someone to prepare and do everything, but people were just not interested. And then I was like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to go, I'm going to leave abantu abangekho interested. And I did exactly that. And then when I got there, I was alone. I was not alone who was traveling alone. There were some people who didn't have anyone they knew. For example, a friend of mine that we met when we were traveling, it's Oli, and I'm happy now that in that tour I met a business partner, because now we are business partners. We are owning a poultry farm with our other colleagues, of course. So it was a great experience. You know, I met interesting people, and there's also one friend of mine, an academic at Sol Plaatje University. We still talk even today. You know, I still have her contacts on WhatsApp. If I want to ask anything about academics, I just text her and then she responds. So that's what was great about the whole experience. So I'm going to take you through the whole itinerary before I can actually tell you why I consider that tour as one of the biggest blunders I've ever made in my entrepreneurship journey. So this is what happened. We left from Joburg, and then we got to Kwanokeng Lodge, where we were going to have our dinner. Of course, the Kwanokeng Lodge, it's in Botswana. And then from there we left from Botswana to Zimbabwe border. That was on the 5th of January 20. So on the 6th of January we went from we were at Chobe Safari Lodge. That's where we were accommodated for that night. And then on that same day we also went to the arts and craft. We went for arts and craft tour, that is in Elephants Village. And then we went for the tour in Victoria Falls, you know, the beautiful Victoria Falls. You know, I was so happy when I was there, because I was like, I had only seen this place in tourism textbook when I was still in high school. So it was like a dream come true, me being there and seeing it live and being able to take pictures and like have a sense of feel when you are there, you know. And then after then we had a traditional dinner that was in a beautiful restaurant in Zimbabwe. It was a great experience, you know, when you get to see and experience the cuisines that other people eat. You know, even though you're going to meet some things that you don't know, because I remember the steak that we had there. It was not good at all, but we had to eat because it was like an organized event, you know. And then on the 7th of January we were accommodated at Zimbabwe Lodge. And then from Zimbabwe Lodge we left in the morning. We departed for Zambia border, and then in Zambia border, that's where we were at the Victoria Falls Bridge. And then from Victoria Falls Bridge we were at that beautiful hotel that is the Livingstone Hotel. And then from there we went for adrenaline activities like your zip line, your bungee jumping, and etc. And then on day 8 we departed for Botswana border. And then from Botswana border we went to tour in the Kasana market. You know, that's where we were getting our African print fabrics and all things that are African, you know. And then from there we went to Chobe Safari Lodge, and then and then after then we went to the Chobe National Park. And then now it was day 9, no, not day 9, it was the 9th of January. And then now we departed for Namibia, and then from Namibia we went to an island, a beautiful island that is called Impalila Island. And then after then we went for that was the last activity that we actually did. It was in Namibia, but as we were in Namibia we could see the Botswana on the other side, you know. So we went on the buffet dinner boat cruise in Botswana. It was so nice. There was so much food there, and then we were on this boat. It went from one point to the next. So we basically went from the Namibia border to Botswana border, and then we went back to Namibia border. So all that time there's food happening there, you know, we are having conversations, and that was literally our last activity. It was so amazing. It was a great experience. And then after then we departed for Johannesburg. We came back to Johannesburg. So coming to the main point, or to the main reason why I decided to shoot this video. So I consider the entire tour as one of the biggest mistakes I've ever made in my entrepreneurship journey, because when I came back to the country, like I stated earlier, I noticed that the business was not performing well because I have exhausted or used all the money that the business had in my traveling, you know, because you know when you're traveling you're not going to need your money for transport only and your accommodation, but there's some other things that you're going to need there. You're going to need food, you're going to need money to enjoy yourself, those activities that you're going to do there, you know, like you're going to see on the picture here. And also you're going to need to buy beautiful stuff, you know, if you have people that you want to bring some mementos, you're going to do that. So that literally left me with no money, you know. And when we were still there about to come back, I was already telling my friends that I'm like, when I come back to South Africa and say I'm actually depressed, you should know that I don't have money, because I literally used all the savings that I had at the time, you know. And also the reason why I was able to go there basically was because of the entrepreneurship journey that I was in, okay, or that I have just started. The business that I was in, it afforded me the opportunity to go there, because even my mom, I actually lied to her and I didn't tell her that I was going to pay for that trip. I said to her, no, we're going there for free. I'm actually going out of the country and they're going to pay for us, you know. And so entrepreneurship, it actually basically afforded me that nice life at the time, you know. But I made the mistake of traveling early, you know. And I believe that this is not the mistake that maybe I made myself. There are some people that maybe have made the same mistakes, you know, of rushing for soft life when you are supposed to be growing your business, you know. Actually Vusi Thembekwayo once said this, that we as black people, we don't grow our businesses, you know. Once you have money and you want to use this money, you want to buy a car, you want to travel, you want to buy luxuries, you know, instead of growing your business. So that's basically one big mistake that I've ever made in my entrepreneurship journey, was to travel, you know, not just traveling to one country, plus traveling to 4 countries, you know, and enjoying myself at that time. And that literally left me with no money. When I was in the country, I was broke. I didn't have anything I didn't have any money to do business, you know. So guys, if there is anything that you need to take out of this video, is that when you are starting a business, you know, especially if you are coming from a background of not having owned any business, or you're coming from a background or your parents have never owned any business, you should really focus more on growing your business, you know. You should not start traveling early, because you are going to run out of money. Now when you are in business, again and again, you are going to run out of money. So you are going to need those savings that you are going to use for traveling. So rather keep that money, save it instead of traveling, so that you can save your business when it's collapsing. Another thing that I'm going to advise you to avoid, it's buying your car. If you don't need it, like, don't buy your car unless it's going to make your entrepreneurship journey easy, or it's going to make your hustle easy. Yes, at that point you can buy your car, so that you're going to move easily from one place to another. But if you don't need it, don't buy it, because it's going to take money from your business, and then when there is no money in your business is going to die, and you will see that you are not growing, and it's because of these decisions that you are taking. Another problem that we normally do as young entrepreneurs is to rush to diversify. I know that it is important for one, if you have a business, to make sure that you diversify, so that you won't depend on one business. That is important, but my advice to you is that don't rush to diversify early. Wait for some time, maybe when you have like a lot of money and you are now confident that you can diversify, because sometimes we make mistakes. Like myself, I made a number of those mistakes. There's another video that I'm going to post where I'm going to talk about the mistake of diversifying early that I made. So if you really can't afford diversifying, please don't do it. And you should also avoid buying luxuries. Entrepreneurs, when you are still starting, and you don't have any investors, you don't have any funders, you don't have anyone who's going to back up, and you are literally depending on yourself, you really need to avoid buying luxuries. And there's going to come a time where you're going to afford those luxuries, where your business is going to be doing well, and you won't have to worry that maybe you can lose some money. No, at that point, the business is going to be doing well, and you afford all those luxuries that you are going to deprive yourself when you are still growing your business. And another thing that I'm going to advise you to avoid is to avoid instant gratification. Say no to instant gratification. Delay instant gratification, because now it's going to pull you down. If you can't say no to instant gratification, to all those things that you like but you really don't need them, you are going to struggle. You need to have like a thick skin, even to yourself, to say, if this thing is not a need, I am not going to buy it. I remember when I was doing my undergraduate qualification, my friends would ask me, you're saying you are broke, but you actually do have money? I would say yes, there is some money that you need to be broke. So when you're talking about that kind of money, you're talking about business money. Tell yourself that I'm broke, even though you do have money that belongs to the business. So that is you saying no to instant gratification. If you can't say no to instant gratification, you are going to see yourself buying things that you don't need, using the money that doesn't necessarily belong to you. It belongs to the business, even though the business is owned by you. And another thing that you should really avoid is to use imali business. Don't use imali business to do your own things. And I know you are going to be confused a lot when you are in business. There's going to be a number of things that you will find yourself in, and they are going to need money from your business. For example, you find yourself having maybe credit cards, you having accounts, and now you are having to take money from your business, which is wrong. You're actually not going to see any progress in your business if you do that. So those are just some of the lessons that I can give you. I hope someone is going to learn something out of this video, and thank you so much for watching up until this far. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.